Rafi and Clee, live stream. Hopefully we don't say
Hey!
I think we're live.
Awesome!
Welcome, everybody.
Hi, you guys.
We've missed you.
Please let us know if you could hear us all right.
And if you can see us okay. I think we got the color and lighting settings all right.
I'm not sure. You're looking a little blue.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
Well, it is kind of chilly in here, so...
I want to give a big shout out to Scott Herbert Art for all the amazing quotes from Clee.
The tree wisdom. I love it.
It's amazing.
Welcome, everybody. Hi, Chumpy. Hi, Cat World. Shawan, welcome. And a special thank you.
Okay, they can see us. We sound great. Hey, when are you guys going to get around to using the puppets?
Oh, maybe soon. Pretty soon, I think. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Okay, give us a second.
Give us a second. As you could tell, we got our amazing gifts from Ev Stanton, Paper Straw Studio. Sent
They
us
are
these.
absolutely incredible.
Go ahead,
Gotta
you-
pull up my pants.
Pull up your pants. My butt crack's not showing, is it?
Well, if it is, it's off camera anyway. Welcome, you guys. Hi, Art Matters. Hi, Timothy. Hi, Hannah. Hannah says hello to Muppet Rafi and Muppet Clee.
Let's put this where it belongs.
Right about there.
There we go.
That's better. All right, let's get in frame here. Whoa, that's my face really close.
That is your face really close.
The Muppets are so cool. Aren't they
Aren't they?
amazing? So thank you to Ev.
Sketchy Punk, first time catching you live. Well, hi.
Hi.
We don't usually have Muppets doing our introduction. We just
Except that now we have Muppets.
I know. Those came in the mail today. The wonderful Ev Stanton
Paper
Straw Studio sent those to us.
We're beyond excited about
Yeah.
it, so we couldn't help ourselves. Hi, Abby.
Hey, Abby.
Oh my gosh, thank you all so much
So many
for joining
awesome
us.
people are here.
Our first main channel live stream
in a long time. We
Yeah.
haven't done a live stream on here for a while.
quite some time.
The puppets are amazing. Those are freaking amazing. I love the treeisms.
Thank you.
Great to see you both. Oh, thank you, Adela.
Hi, Adela.
Let's see. What do we got?
It's okay, we like your face. Hi, Fire King.
Hey, Fire King.
Can we have a full-on Puppet Rafi and Puppet Clee
Oh,
show?
that is going to be in the works. Yep. It is something that we've thought about doing ever since Ev sent us pictures of these. I was like, oh, this is like a dream come true. These guys are created to the specs of actual Muppets. So
yeah, I cried when I found out about it,
Yeah.
and today when they arrived, I was just a ball of giggles and smiles. Hi, Cruz. Hi, Bashar. Bashar said hello. I just discovered you guys a few days ago. Your weekly topics are great. That's awesome.
Oh, well, thank you.
Welcome to the community. I'm glad you found us.
Tim is here. Word. Yes.
Hi, Ashley. Woohoo, I made it.
Awesome. So sorry about the plumbing issue. I hope things get better. Yes,
Yeah.
we are hoping that the plumbing issues, it's being worked on. It's a lot of pipes, and it's a very old house. So it really threw a wrench in our plans. But, we're just going to go with the flow, so to speak.
Because you
Like
know
that.
what?
Oh, no.
If a tree falls in the forest, it picks itself right back up.
Oh, my God. You guys really encouraged her with all the comments. I was reading the comments on the video today, and she was just cracking up.
You guys, I almost couldn't get through the tree canopy one. Our patrons know because they got B-roll footage to laugh at. Naomi and Wendy said you scared the bejesus out of Naomi. Sorry, Naomi.
Sorry, Naomi.
We love you. Hi,
Art
Destiny.
Matters. Any pre-questions lined up? No, actually we don't. We just got done with a major, right at the end of the night.
We had a pipe blowout on us.
Pipe blowout, so we just got done. The only prep that we did was getting these guys prepared for starting the live stream. So we are really unprepared.
Sandy said you need to up your eyebrow game so you can keep up with your Muppet. It does have good eyebrows. I'm really digging mine's eyebrows too. Hi, David.
Hey, David.
Yeah, no questions prepared, so please
Oh,
shoot
yeah,
us any
absolutely. Any questions that you guys have.
About anything, art, life, home reno, what we've been doing.
Patsy said, how do you get out of an artist slump? Like an artist slump, like a creativity slump, because usually for me, when I think of like an artist slump where like I'm creatively blocked or something, it has a lot to do with me being in some kind of emotional block or emotional slump. And basically what I focus on is doing anything that is going to throw pattern interrupt into what I usually do whenever I get into a slump. So I might go for a walk. It might be completely un-art related as long as it makes you happy, because then it's easy to get back into the art and doing whatever it is that you want to get done or do or anything.
Or it could be a creative thing that's unrelated to what you normally do. I like to switch gears. That's why I jump between jewelry and music and fabric stuff. And
I wonder how many people are noticing that my ears are turning red.
Who's watching Rafi's ears right now?
After that video, I'm sure everybody's like, oh, his ears are red.
We need a daily devotional of tree-isms. One of our rogues asked for a monthly calendar of tree wisdom, and I thought that was pretty fun.
I actually want to do a t-shirt based on all the tree-isms in that video, because I was like, it would be so cute to do like a t-shirt with those tree-isms.
Oh my god, and you should see Rafi draw some stick trees. They're amazing. The ones with faces are my favorite. So worth seeing this over the opportunity cost of watching more Phineas and Ferb instead. I love that show. But live anything is so amazing. I'm glad we won out over Phineas and Ferb. That's pretty epic.
That is pretty epic.
And I'm glad you're here with us. And also, I love the live stuff, too.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys are doing Twitch streams and live streams, and we love tuning in when we can, when pipes aren't doing plumbing.
Scott
things.
said the tree quotes need to be a reoccurring gag on the channel. There needs to be a tree puppet.
We do need a tree puppet.
We do.
How are the bats? Oh, they're doing well.
Yeah, they're doing very well. They're quite chatty every once in a while.
We haven't had any properly get into the house since our last bat adventure, but there is a chatterbox one that lives behind our fireplace mantle. We're going to have to figure out that in the coming weeks here.
Laska said, "Fa-chunk a slump."
A slump, yeah.
That's such a good point.
Ask yourself to do something, create anything.
Just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. I'm just going to do this for 5 minutes. And a lot of times that in of itself is a pattern interrupt. You got to remember, when you get in a slump, there might be a certain pattern. Even the way you sit, the way that you like talk, it's all part of a pattern. So you throw anything in there to interrupt that pattern, and it'll get you out of your slump. I'm not saying it's easy. It's definitely not easy, but it will help you get out of that slump.
Zephyrin asked, question, Clee, have you ever picked up a brush? Sometimes I steal Rafi's paintbrushes for uses that are unrelated to art. Does that count? We actually did a review video for some Arteza art materials where I was forced to paint things.
Yep. It was pretty epic. It was great.
I can't say it was good.
It was great. I loved it. Hey, yo, first time catching you guys live.
Hey,
Stefan. Hey, Stefan.
David wanted to know if we ever had to trade in our Jeep, would we go for something bigger, smaller, or same size?
Well, I don't want to trade in our Jeep, but we would definitely go for something a little bit with more space.
A bigger butt.
A bigger butt, just to be able to carry some more artwork.
The Jeep is part of our family, but...
Yeah. How
do you choose an artist name? You said have fun with it. And I'm trying to relax with it, but it's so hard to find something that feels right. It's supposed to be my artist name forever. It can feel like a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I went with Clee Angelique because that's my name and it rhymes. So
I went with Rafi because that's my name. And it doesn't rhyme.
Some of our rogues have chosen names that are like nicknames or things that have sentimental or historical value to them. I always kind of love that too. Definitely make sure it's something that means something to you. It's like a tattoo.
Yeah.
You do want to keep it forever if you can.
Most definitely think about it that way. Don't worry about the way that it's going to come off to anybody else. Just how it's going to sound to you. Obviously, the more original, the better for search engine reasons and stuff like that. But even still, like, don't concern yourself too much with that. Just something that you would love to, like Mark Twain. Mark Twain, that was his pen name.
Yeah.
And that had to do with, you know, the boats and the levels of the water and all that stuff. So like something that means something to you.
Definitely. And if you haven't found it yet, don't settle. Don't feel like you have to set an ultimatum for yourself. Sit with a name for a while and see how you feel about it, and then go from there. Oh my God, is that the invisible sculpture behind you guys? It looks great. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
You noticed. Do you guys know of any good sites or online shops for getting art printed on t-shirts or tapestries?
So I use GotPrint. I use GotPrint for like printing all my other materials. I use Printful to print stuff up for my store, and I also use Teespring. Those are my online stores for selling t-shirts and anything else that gets printed up.
Yes, and there is a site specifically for tapestries also, and now I'm forgetting the name of the site. If anyone knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's right. We've got it written down somewhere. We might have to revisit that in a video where we do, like, this is where we get all our stuff.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that it's always changing, and there's always, like, new companies. So, like, I know that there's a really good one for stickers.
Yeah, there's a couple for stickers.
Yeah, so that's if somebody remembers, or if we do remember what it is, we'll put it on our resources page on our website.
Yep. Fire King wants to know, would you two ever participate in an Ops Mic improv comedy thing?
That would be fun.
Probably.
That would be fun. I would love to do that. Just to face a fear.
Yeah.
I mean, improv is great for facing fears. I know a lot of people that were very shy, and they took up improv for the purpose of building confidence and getting out there.
Jessica said, before I heard today's Monday motivational, I was wishing it was 2023 already. Now I'm going into February with a more positive outlook.
Oh, that's awesome, Jessica.
Yay! Made it to your live stream.
Hi, Trisha.
Guys, as always, if the ticker tape gets moving too fast and we miss your question or your comment, please feel free to type it again so that we see it.
Yes, because it just jumps up and we miss things.
So many of you guys are here with us tonight. It's amazing.
Leslie said, like my DJ name, make it real.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Michael Hall, I'm getting back into photos again since new smartphone.
Awesome.
What do you do when a painting feels forced and stuck?
When a painting feels forced and stuck, then I walk away from it and start working on something else, and maybe I'll leave it out. And that's one of the reasons that I work on more than one painting at a time. Just, if I got to wait for things to dry, or if I just run into some kind of roadblock with it, as long as you keep the flow going, and for me, it's like working on something and actually painting and working on something and then being able to go back to it when I do feel inspired to add to it or do whatever it is that I'm going to do.
Destinary said Destinary was my World of Warcraft character name my daughter came up with. It stuck with me. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it too.
Bashar said, I make speed paints on YouTube and have Instagram channel, but the exposure is not going up. Whenever I try to work it out, I'm stuck with some sort of bad luck. What should I do, Rafi and Klee?
Keep going and pivot. Switch it up a little bit. It's such an interesting thing because it's really hard to navigate that, especially in the beginning when you're getting started. It does take a little more steps to take off. And it's just a matter of pivoting, changing things up a little bit, experimenting, playing around, and just tweaking it. Honestly, that's the way that we got to where we got to, was just bumbling through. But if you go back on my Instagram, I think it's the first 3 years. If you look at all my posts, the first 3 years worth of posts have an average of like 5 likes on them.
Same.
So like, it's just being patient with yourself and understanding that Rome wasn't built in a day.
I realized for social media too, like the most important thing for me is to be having fun with it, because otherwise I'll stop. I'll get whatever,
You got to find a reason to do it other than follows and likes. Because if not, it's just going to discourage you. You're going to feel discouraged.
Sticker Mule, that's one of the
Sticker Mule, yes.
Secret ironing board? What? Yep. Any tips for artist statements? I'm stumped. My tip is to keep it as simple as possible. Don't overly complicate it. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be.
Keep it real. You can talk about anything that you want, and it's your artist statement. Like, so remember, your artist bio is basically you talking about your artist bio statement is you talking about your art overall. An artist statement a lot of times has to do with a single individual piece of art. And what you want to do if you're doing an overall one is kind of find why it is that you create what you create, and keep it simple, keep it real, and don't overcomplicate it with fancy words or any of that shit, because nobody cares. Nobody's reading that stuff for that reason. Keep it short, keep it sweet, and make sure that it has your personality in it. Most definitely.
Stefan said, speed paints don't do well with the algorithm. Try to work your personality into your videos. Definitely work your personality into your stuff. Yeah.
There are the algorithms, and that's the thing with the algorithms, right? The algorithms are constantly changing and moving around. So, like, if you want to do the speed paints, do the speed paints, but make sure that you have some kind of, like, cool music to it. If you notice, the things that get shared a lot are the things that are just weird and or have some kind of personality to them, right? So like if you do a glow in the dark painting that is really weird and has this big reveal at the end, chances are it'll get shared a little bit more. And then as soon as things get shared a little bit more or viewed more, then the algorithms, no matter what, will like to jump on them. So that's the thing. It's breaking through that threshold, but making sure that you're doing it because you think it's cool and fun, so that if it doesn't perform the way that you wanted it to, it doesn't discourage you from keeping on going, because like you never know what's going to hit. Like you just never do.
Yeah. Jess said patience is hard. I know.
Patience is hard.
I keep my patience at full strength by sticking with an ancient laptop that takes 20 minutes to power up. Every morning it teaches me patience. Naomi has professed her love for me publicly because she loves puns. Thank you.
Awesome.
Very much. Someone had asked up the ticker tape, are there any lesser known artists that you absolutely adore? There's tons of them, and unfortunately I'm super bad at recalling names on the fly, but one that is semi well known but not everyone knows, and I'm gonna butcher his name, is Olafur Ellison.
Olafur is great. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
We saw some of his art a while ago. I mean, he's pretty well known. But
yeah, he's pretty well known. But he's not like mega,
Somebody was like, I think it was with the artist, like, I'm worried about anonymity. Like, I want to keep my anonymity and stuff like that. The thing you got to realize is that, like, as far as art is, we're not movie celebrities. We're artists, right? So, like, the majority of the world, like, you might mention Damien Hirst or Jeff Koons, like, a lot of people will know who they are, but they don't really know.
That's true.
As artists, we do retain a lot of anonymity. It's the same thing as like a lot of writers. A lot of writers retain anonymity.
Win.
So that is a big win for us.
Nadia, another Aussie here. We've got some Aussies who are living in Tomorrowland.
Awesome. It is tomorrow.
Deborah, what's the best dinner you've cooked since you've been in your new house? Oh, that's a hard question.
I do like the noodles, the Chinese noodles.
Yes,
with pork.
That's a contender, but also you grilled some stuff for us on a couple occasions, which was really special because we weren't able to grill where we were before. And picadillo is always kind of at the top of my list. And there's been a lot of good stuff.
There's been a few things that I've made that I've really enjoyed, but it's been amazing being here and having an actual kitchen to cook in.
To work the magic.
That's one of the things that in the future on the Adventure Channel we might do a Cooking with Rafi show because...
because there's already a jingle for it.
Yeah, there is a jingle for it, yeah.
Sending warmth and Pacifica greetings from Southern Hemisphere, Rogues.
Oh, thank you, Leslie.
My question for you guys, copyright mark in digital art?
Copyright mark
Should you?
In digital... Oh, I never do. I never do, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't. There are some people out there. I did the video on copywriting, and some people get really mad when as an artist you're like, you don't have to copyright. I create a lot of art. It would get very expensive for me to copyright everything, right? So like when I think about copywriting something, honestly, I think about what is the frequency that it's going to be used. So like I'd be more prone to copyright a t-shirt design that I think is going to get really popular than I am with a painting. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't copyright something. So I think really when it comes to everything, whether you're putting it online or not, that really is a personal choice. It's up to you.
I wonder too if they simply mean watermarking your piece.
Yeah.
So that it's... I know too, like, like Rafi never puts stuff online that's big enough to blow it up and copy it.
I also make sure that I'm in the painting all the time. Or in the painting.
In the picture
I'm
with the
in
piece.
the picture with the piece, right? And like maybe my fingers are sticking up over the piece or something.
Hi, Vanishing Point. Vanishing Pearl. Oh, surprise, Rafi and Klee. Hello.
Hi.
I'm finding it hard to find an artist group. Any online groups that you can recommend? Our Patreon community is probably the best group of humans on the face of the earth, and I'm not trying to say that you should join it, but it's worth a look.
I mean, they're awesome.
Not to shamelessly self-promote, but these rogues, they're amazing.
The rogues are awesome. As far as other online communities, I don't know. I'm sure, I know that a lot of people go, we hardly ever, I don't ever really go on Facebook and use like Facebook groups and stuff like that. So, I don't know, but I would say that you want to look for communities, artist communities, in something that you're interested in. So if you have like a specific type of art that you like to create, there's just all kinds of creative communities out there, and it's just a matter of finding one that fits you.
If anyone's got any recommendations, if anyone belongs to any amazing artist groups, feel free to put those in the ticker tape.
I mean, that was the thing with Patreon and the Discord community that we have on there, is that I couldn't really find a group, so like we created one, and as it turns out, it's awesome.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have this crew.
Yes,
this
we are.
Hi, Fat Cat.
Hey,
Happy
Fat
Monday.
Cat.
Hope things are better for you guys today.
Things
got a little cray-cray.
They're getting a little cray-cray, but they got a little cray-cray. They're a little bit better. Tomorrow, the water main is going to be worked on, so that's where I'm like, oh, I don't know how that's going to go. We'll see. Art and food is always an awesome mix. How do you all like the art scene in your new hometown? I think it's great. You know, they're trying to really promote the town by using art and artists. And, you know, in such a small town, there are 2 art galleries already there. You have a lot of art events going on. So they're like really, I think we're at the precipice of getting all that stuff going, but I think it's great. I love it.
The artists here are highly motivated, and the Arts Council is highly motivated, and we're really excited to be part of that for sure. So far, so good.
Excellent. As soon as we are done with house stuff, we'll be able to get more involved in the community and share a little bit more about that.
Right. Tina said Facebook groups are very toxic. The rogue artists are very awesome and supportive.
Oh,
Thanks,
thank
Tina.
you,
Love you. Wesley, there's a ton of Pennsylvania food snacks that are unique to PA. Have you had Middlesworth chips yet? Chicken and waffles, ham pot pie. Ooh.
Not yet, but we will.
Yeah, yes,
that
please
sounds
to all
amazing.
of that. You made a great move out of Florida. We think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really stoked about it.
Yeah.
Jeff said this is the best, right?
Well, awesome. Facebook groups are generally shallow and of the cesspool.
Discord.
Groups tend to be
Chef's Kiss. Yeah, Discord groups, man.
Did you say Discord?
Did I?
Yes, Discord. Not Discord, you guys.
All
Discord.
this talk about food.
Yeah. Vanishing Pearl, you're welcome. Happy hunting. I can vouch for many of the streamers in makers and crafting. Okay, cool. So she shared something.
Right on.
I watermark
with Melanie Jerem
on the artwork, but it doesn't stop people from stealing my work, even straight copying. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you're going to put the thing is that a lot of people get worried about the internet, but in all honesty, even if the internet wasn't around and we were showing our art at markets and doing stuff, people are going to come in and take pictures. They're going to try to reproduce it. The thing is to remember that you're always going to stay one step ahead. If you worry too much about that stuff, it's going to keep you from sharing stuff and putting it out in front of somebody who potentially wants it. And honestly, I've had people steal my designs and my artwork, and I would say that 80% of the time, the person that bought the piece originally will come to me to get an actual piece. Because you know, the name, that's you want to put your art out there so that you're building up your name. And pretty soon it'll get to a point where like anybody that steals your work is just dumb because everybody knows, you know, what your work looks like.
It's true. Home of Peculiar Artists
Facebook
SB group is a wide variety of art. Pretty cool stuff. Cool. Thanks, Ella.
Cool.
When you coming to Erie? Oh, hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon, Michael.
When we thaw a little, as you know, and when the plumbing has been...
It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge. We were going to go see Michael, and then it was like freezing out. So we were like, no.
It was indeed freezing. Yeah. Thanks for answering the copyright question. I was thinking about it myself.
Awesome.
Angel said, Break Away from the Everyday is a good Facebook artist group. It's gotten pretty large, though. It's not unusual for your posts to get lost, but it has a very positive vibe.
That's good.
Awesome, you guys. Thanks for throwing those recommendations in the ticker tape. Naomi and Wendy said, not giving up on the hand thing. In bed now, working on Shane and watching, listening. Someday we'll get the PT.
Awesome.
Physical therapy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Discord.
Discord.
Loving the snow? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We are.
Loving it. You know what's, it's funny too, because like it snowed a lot. And then every day it felt like, you know, I go out there and shovel, and then the next day there would be like an inch or two of snow, and then I'd shovel, and then there'd be an inch or two of snow. And I thought that I'd get over it, you know, like be like, oh, I'm over this, but not really. Not really. I really love the cold weather, and I don't mind being out there as long as it's like -6 or something like that. So I'm loving it.
Clee, do you use a shop vac for vacuum casting? So I don't have an in-house casting studio.
Not yet.
Not yet. So Rafi's dad always helped me on the casting end. I got to figure out that end of things.
The vacuum caster,
yeah.
you could use a shop vac for the vacuum caster, but you're better off just getting that vacuum thing to pull the...
Yeah. Christelle said, only post smaller images of your artwork on the internet, 1100 pixels max to one side, then it won't be worth stealing.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And that's what I do, Chris. Good, 1100, and it'll look good at 72 DPI. It will look good online. It will look like crap if somebody tries to steal it.
Thank you, Laska, for the super chat.
Thank you, Laska.
Yeah. Oh my, the jingle bell isn't up here.
Yeah.
Tara said, you two are the Joe Rogan experience of the art community. Epic encouragement and a wealth of knowledge and joy. Thanks, Tara.
Oh, thank you, Tara.
Let's see. Allison Lion Art on YouTube. She's the leader of the group Nature with Watercolor. Monthly fee $12. Okay, so info sharing there.
Right. Fire King said, just saw an image on Twitter that reminds me of the Furia goggles.
Oh, that's fun. How much does it remind you?
I mean,
there's tons of cute stuff on the internet that's fluffy. I love seeing stuff like that. I'm an unpaid artist, musician, writer, all-around creative person. Your shows have been a fun inspiration.
Oh,
Thanks,
that's
Mike.
awesome, Mike. Thank you.
Someone had asked up the ticker tape, what do we think of watercolor? I think it's incredible, and I think it's difficult.
Yeah, I own a bunch of watercolor kits, and I use them every once in a while when I'm like experimenting with the acrylics and doing them on paper and stuff. But I do want to do I want to do some watercolors. I want to really push myself to do some watercolors, and it might be something that I do on the live like Twitch streams. I'm thinking about doing some painting on Twitch, and but I don't want it to be stuff that I know how to do. So I want it to be like experiments and challenging basically I want when I do the personal paintings on Twitch, I want it to be a lot of like shit, I screwed that up. Damn it. You know, like that kind of thing.
We also have a plan, actually, for you who asked if I ever pick up a brush, we have a plan for a monthly Rafi and Cleese battle to the paint, where I will be forced to pick up various art utensils that I'm not familiar with. So that should be a fun thing. Hi, Samantha.
Hey, Samantha.
How's your back, Rafi? Hope you're resting, sitting down after working on hubby's birthday present.
Oh, yeah. My back is, it'll get better someday.
Someday.
Yeah.
Things are still a little cray-cray with his back. Should I learn about perspective for drawing?
Really, that's up to you. I mean, if you're going to be a drawing, I mean, I would recommend learning perspective just so that you know perspective. Perspective is always sounds so difficult, but really it has a lot to do with just your vanishing points and all that stuff. And you could literally watch one video on YouTube and get the hang of perspective after practicing it several times.
Oh, we've got 2 really great questions
What
here.
are they?
Okay, the first one, artist dilemma. Why is it, wait, scroll it up just a hair. Why is it something that took me 10 minutes to make gets more likes than something I spent 2 hours on? It's so frustrating.
That's how it is, and that's why you can't be posting for the likes. Don't worry about the likes.
I have a theory about that too, because I've experienced that myself, and I think when we stress too much about something and we really like, oh, it's just gotta hit, it's almost like then we thwart our own efforts somehow.
Yeah.
Kelly, thank you for the super chat.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. Ding, ling, 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 ling.
And the question right underneath that question, which I think I might have missed at this point.
All right, let's go.
I'm going to have my first show, and I can't come up with a good title for the show. I feel good about my work, but I have a mix of subject matter. Help.
Oh, okay. So I always have a mix of subject matter in my shows. So like one of the shows was called
I Am Not an Exit.
I Am Not an Exit. Because of the location where it was, there was a big door that said exit. So I called my show I Am Not an Exit.
Another one was called You Are Here, an exploration of right now.
Yep, You Are Here. And it was like the poster that I made for it was a map with a little dot on it that said You Are Here, an exploration for right now.
So I think it's like the overarching thing that you're kind of talking about with your show is a good place to start with that.
Yeah.
Wow, I actually made it to a live stream.
Hi.
Welcome, Nicolissa. Mike said, do the painting on Twitch something. I'm on Twitch as a musician. Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
How do you paint and talk on Twitch? I'm so deep in thought, I can't hold a conversation while drawing.
I mean, it's just kind of like talking to yourself. You know, like that's basically what it is.
It's part stream of consciousness and one part like reading.
Yeah, you really want to see somebody do that. Blackbird CD on Twitch.
Is it
Christopher Dahl?
Amazing at it.
Beautiful space art, and he's got an amazing. I mean, I want to just say he's got a beautiful voice.
Yeah,
you do, Chris. You really do.
It's a fun time.
It really is.
Bashar said, I hear digital art is really skyrocketing these days. Employers look for digital illustrations for storyboarding, concept art, etc. But how could somebody just ditch traditional art?
I don't think it's ditching traditional art. I don't think it's the same thing as photography. Like, you know, when digital photography came around, they thought that it would replace
film.
That it would replace film, and honestly, film now is like the novelty thing. And when pictures came out, they thought that it would replace portraiture, and I think it's just a different form of art. Yeah. I don't think it replaces anything. I don't think it makes anything else obsolete.
Sometimes in commercial art, obviously, peeps are looking for the fastest, most transferable thing
that's
they
the
can
thing.
get their hands
Digital
on.
art is great for, you know, like when you're doing
renderings,
posters and stuff, and you're really able to put the color grading correctly how you want it. So like, it's great for a lot of stuff. But it will never replace art because it's a different medium. Or it will never replace paintings because it's a different medium.
Mm-hmm. I concur. Obviously, you enjoy doing the YouTube videos. Do you think it would be worth doing a YouTube channel? Do you think it benefits your art career? For us, we love it so much.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that it's the hugest financially beneficial thing, but we get so much out of this and the community that I can't picture myself being away from it.
And that's the thing, like what we do now, we didn't start because we were trying to sell art. What we did was because I had learned so much in just bumbling our way. We had learned so much in bumbling our way through stuff. And I was just, the information wasn't out there. A lot of people were talking about, well, what you should do as an artist is this and this and this. But nobody was talking about the emotional hurdles and to me, like, that's the biggest roadblock that you run into. So I was like, no, I'm going to talk about what really got me to where I am and the struggles that I'm facing and all that stuff. So really, I did it for personal reasons. It wasn't to advance my art. If I was trying to sell my art, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be talking to artists. I would be trying to sell my art, and honestly, that's just not my jam.
And I'll add to that an unexpected amazing thing that happened was that the community that did gather around this channel and our Patreon and the Adventure channel are so supportive.
Yeah.
Whether it's that they attend our live sales or they just cheer us on or they collect our art or they tell other people about us. The unexpected thing is that we have created an unstoppable force with this community that I really feel like all of us collectively could do anything we want to and take over the world.
And that's what it is, David. It's like understanding that if whatever medium that you're putting yourself out there, a lot of people put themselves out on Instagram and they're like, oh, Instagram, it's a marketing, blah, blah, blah. I got to post whatever. You got to understand, like, when you are doing anything online, it's the same thing as going to a party and people being there. You are either putting stuff out there and you are giving them a tidbit of who you are and what you are all about, letting people know. It'd be like walking up to somebody at a party, or somebody walks up to you and they're like, hey, what are you about? And you're like, here's this painting that I'm selling, and there's no conversation there. And it's like, a lot of people, when they approach YouTube or they approach Instagram, that's pretty much what they approach it with. It's like, you're just walking up to people and just like, hey, look, you want to look at this painting? I'm selling this today only, and that's not how you meet people. That's not how you develop relationships. And so, like, I think it's a matter of looking at the internet as an extension of real life.
Yeah, totally, because it is.
Instead of looking at it as just a marketing platform. That's important, and that's how we approach things.
Kelly asks, when do we start, Clee? Oh, it's already been started. World domination is underway, Kelly. Sarah, I want you to know that we see you and we love you. We missed a bunch of Sarah's comments. Girl, the ticker tape is moving real fast. Yeah. We see you. Crystal is blushing pretty hard. And Zephyrine wants to know, what's the name of our Patreon? It is Rafi and Clee.
Rafi and Clee.
Yep. Hi, Cindy, and hi, Weirdly Untimely, who popped into the ticker tape as well. Jess, thank goodness you did. I love you guys. We love you too, Jess. We adore all of you guys.
We really do, man. You guys are freaking awesome.
And as an aside, like, this is the best thing we could have possibly chosen to do after all the plumbing fiascos today.
Yes,
like,
it is. It really is.
Amazing. It's amazing.
It's funny how that happens. Like, we go through this plumbing thing, and I'm like, I'm exhausted. We didn't eat anything today. Like, we forgot to eat and all that stuff. And we go through the plumbing stuff. And, like, at no point in time was I, like, thinking, like, oh, we're going to have to cancel the live stream. Like, it was like, oh, man, I got to move this back because I don't know if we're going to be done with the plumbing by then.
Made it work.
We did.
Sketchy Pumpkin wants to know, how do you handle a commission piece that you don't agree with? Do you refuse to do the piece or try and explain why you won't do it? Do you have an example of how you handled a similar situation?
I don't do the piece. I've been confronted by a lot of people that want me to do a commission that I'm not jiving with. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I might recommend them to another artist that would be interested in doing the piece or possibly be interested in doing the piece.
Yeah, and usually I keep it short and I'll say something like, I'm really sorry, that's just not in my wheelhouse. It's not something I do. If I'm morally opposed to it or if I'm just not creatively inspired to it, it's kind of the same either way. And if I can recommend somebody, I will.
Yeah.
Or just leave it at that. Yeah. But I never take on a commission that I'm opposed to.
Never. Never.
I have... And
you pour so much energy into that one piece that, like, if it's something that you just don't like, there's no point in doing that.
Bashar asked, it's my dream to be an art therapist, but honestly, I've never seen it advertised, let alone advised in any way. Do you think this is because people just don't appreciate art? I think people absolutely need art.
They absolutely need art, and there's a lot of people that appreciate art. And that's the thing. It's very important to not make blanket assumptions and say, like, oh, well, people just don't appreciate art, because all that does is hurt your perspective in when you're approaching the world. There are a lot of people out there that appreciate art. There are a lot of people out there that don't know that they appreciate art yet.
I think art therapy is hugely important and amazing. And I think if you decided to start putting that out there, people would find you.
Some people don't. Some people don't even know what that is, how that it exists, what it's all about. So it's like you getting out there and educating people on it, and that's how you find people that are going to appreciate it, understanding that, like, they may not know what it is, and
they may not know they need it.
They may not know that they need it.
And that's one of those things where word of mouth, somebody who has a really positive experience and it does great things for them, they're going to tell people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they're going to tell people.
Have I mentioned how much I enjoy your company at my desk? Y'all are great people. Thanks for the vids and the streams.
Oh, thank
it's
you,
awesome,
David.
Have you read a book called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, Mandy Art? Okay, so that's to Mandy Art. Naomi and Wendy want to make sure. Did you know that your address is listed in the publication?
Yes. Yes.
Small town.
Right on the front page of the newspaper, our address was listed.
Sure was. As a result, we got cookies from some of the folks in town.
A lot of people. We had people from town come in and say hello and introduce themselves and drop off cookies and food and different things. It was very nice.
Yeah, we were taken aback by that, though, for sure. The old saying, people don't buy art, they buy the artist.
Yes, exactly.
Hi, Pearl.
Hey, Pearl.
What's up?
Hi,
Thanks
Dad.
for joining our stream.
Hi, sweetie pie. So, yeah, the old saying, people don't... And that's why when you put yourself out there, just remember, like, you're not selling to wallets with legs. You know, these are other human beings, and you're connecting with people, and you want to connect with them.
And it's true of all of us, whether it's art or whatever. Like, we like to buy things from folks we like.
Yes.
We don't like to buy things from folks we don't get along with.
Yes.
And that's the plain truth of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Elizabeth. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Ding-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. We don't have our bell.
I know. Fail. Therapist here. Art therapy is totally a thing. Once you get your master's in counseling, you can start training to become an art therapist.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
Let's see.
I just noticed the Rafi puppet in the background. Did Ev make that for you? Yes. We started the stream with them.
If you after the stream is over, don't exit out of here just yet because we're not done. But if you care to, we opened this live stream with a special presentation from
isn't it amazing?
Rafi and Klee. They're incredible. Yeah,
we're excited to play around with those and make some videos.
Art therapy is life-saving. Absolutely worth it, said Jinja.
Yeah.
Ultimate Prime. That's a great name, by the way. I'm an illustrator burned out from drawing and painting for work. I'll keep doing things for myself, but I am trying out ceramics at my local community college. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Shifting gears is a great thing.
Shifting gears, shifting mediums. That's really, really cool.
I was asking for exercise to help me draw what I see. Oh, okay. Like exercises to help draw from what you're looking at.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely take a sketch pad up. Use your pencil as a measurement point. You know, like basically what you do is you hold it up and you're taking your perspective and let's say that you use your thumb from here to here. Then you know that that's how far the distance is, the line or whatever. You bring it down just in case you're trying to get... Because I think when you're looking at stuff and of course I call it perspective, where you want to get the right angles and the right perspective, you want to use your pencil or you want to use your thumb or even your hand as a measurement tool to be able to draw what you see. And the more you do it, the better you get. And really, the thing is hand-eye coordination, right? Because, like, if you don't practice that, your hand kind of just does what it wants to.
I know mine do.
Whereas the more you look at something and you get used to drawing while you're looking at something, the easier it gets for you because then your brain is communicating with the muscles in your hand and you get better at it. So it does take practice. So just doing it more. Basically, any exercises that you can find to do that, just do that.
I found it useful as someone who occasionally sketches to just draw basic shapes and then try to get more and more detailed from there too.
Yeah.
That might be a duck.
Oh, yeah.
We know that already, but just throwing that out there. What are some art styles, materials, or techniques that you want to try? Oh, man.
There's this paint that Kelly just told us about that Blick does where it's an acrylic paint that all you do is mist the paint and then it rehydrates. It rehydrates and you could blend it. So I'm dying to use that medium. Honestly, there's a bunch of paints. What are the blackest black and that pink?
Culture Hustle paints.
Culture Hustle. I want to get some Culture Hustle paints. So there's a lot of stuff. And like I'm constantly experimenting with even mediums from the hardware store and different things like that just to play around and see what I could come up with what kind of textures I come up with and what kind of different things I can. Abby, thank you, Abby.
Thank you, Abby. Woo woo! Everybody's getting a woo woo tonight. Woo woo! I have an endless list of things. I want to do some weird stuff with music, and I want to get heavier into stone setting and jewelry. And I'm experimenting with married metals, like fusing metals together and
She's
then
done
doing
some really cool pieces fusing metals
together. And I want to I took a ceramics class in college, and I was super into ceramics also. I want to explore that world at some point. And the list goes on and on and on.
And we have a glass firing kiln, so we do want to play around with ceramics and pottery and stuff in our studio.
And I want to expand my world of needle felting also. Beyond fluffy goggles. They're amazing, but I want to do some other stuff too. Oh, the first time actually catching a live. Big hello. Y'all are awesome. Thanks, Lisa.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
I will have to rewatch Beginning, said Kelly.
Yeah.
Destinary said, am I the only one who pays actual money to list my stuff on a website and then has an anxiety attack anytime that something sells? When am I going to get over
You're not.
the
You're
fear
not.
of people wanting my makes?
I've
totally felt that.
I started to get over it the moment that I started buying boxes that were too. So like the way that I do it is a lot of the artwork that I have is that I sell is pre-stretched to a certain size, and then I buy boxes that are the same size that will be able to fit those. That way, because every time I sold something, like I sold a painting, immediately the entire overwhelm of like, oh, I gotta go find a box, I gotta cut a box, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So the easier you make the process of selling the art and then packaging the art and shipping the art and having all that information, the easier it gets. But even still, I will have pieces that I'm like, oh, I freak out a little bit. Yeah.
Also, for the anxiety of worrying that they're not going to like it as good in person as when they bought it from your site, that like never happens. Like, ever. Like, your art's always going to be more impressive in person, no matter how. So, like,
always.
Unless there's something that, like, you know, I've had a couple pieces come back over the years just because, like, well, the bail's not big enough to slide over my chain or whatever. Technical reasons. But as far as them not liking the piece when they receive it, like, they're gonna.
Yeah.
Like, that's just something that you grow.
Yeah, and as far as, like, paintings, like, you're never going to be able to capture the art. I know that for a fact. So I'm always excited for them to see it because, like, I know that it's going to be 100 times better than what they see in a picture.
For sure, for sure. I found that drawing the shapes you see is a good exercise.
Yes, yes, Kelly. Yeah.
Jinja said, Culture Hustle is underwhelming and bizarre. Very meh. I know, Jinja, you were disappointed AF with their watercolors. I know Cristal is very impressed with some of their hyperpigment
The
stuff.
hyperpigment. So that's what I'm interested in is the hyperpigments.
I feel like maybe the watercolors were like a side note for them and they didn't put as much effort into it.
Yeah.
Has anyone else used any of their other stuff? How do you feel about Culture Hustle? Bashar said, I once showed a whole sketchbook to my brother of character art, and he said, this isn't enough. These are just characters. I want to see more. Art must have a meaning for him. Thoughts?
Huh.
Oh, okay. So he wants more, like, context
I guess.
with the art. I guess for some people that might be the case. Or maybe he's saying... For him, well, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but maybe, you know, just wants more story with it because
maybe
he
it's
is
story.
interested.
Maybe it's story. Yeah. It's like them interacting with one another. Yeah, that's interesting. I want to see more. Art must have meaning for him. Thoughts. Yeah, I would say that it's story. Usually when somebody's looking for meaning in something or they find meaning in something, it's because that particular thing is telling a story. That's why a lot of times portraiture will have a story, right? Where you have maybe somebody from World War II and you could see the beaten expression on their face. Like, that's telling a story in there. So, I don't know. It's playing around with the characters and seeing what kind of story you come up with, maybe that they interact with. That might be it.
And the details of characters can tell a story, too, just within the character itself.
Yeah.
Some people might have a harder time with that than others, so I guess it does depend on the viewer also.
Fat Cat, I just had a mental image of Clee with a blowtorch laughing maniacally. I have that image all the time.
Apparently there's a Pyro video game character, I forget what the game is called, that's Clee. Like a cute but scary little girl.
Abby's got to take off. Bye,
Love
Abby,
you, Abby,
and thank you.
Mwah.
Yay, ding-a-ling-ling-ling-ling. Yep.
You ever paint on fabric? It's pretty awesome.
I have, yes.
I have not. Well, do you count puffy paints like back in the day?
Yeah, puffy paints.
Did me some puffy paints back in the day. Okay, the ticker tape moved hugely.
Nadia said, I'm back. What'd I miss?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
What artists have inspired you and what keeps you inspired?
You know what keeps me inspired? What I'm going to create next.
Yeah.
I always get
fact
excited.
that I've hardly made a dent in the possibilities that lie ahead in the fields that I try to create in. Yes.
And as far as artists that inspire me, to be honest with you, everybody that's putting themselves out there, I get so inspired more so by the story of the artist, of what they put out there. Because like a lot of people think art inspires me as far as like when I look at something, I might be looking at the color combinations, I might be looking at the marks, I might be looking at the texture. Obviously, you're going to get inspired by that. The composition, all that stuff. I get inspired by photography. I get inspired by art. I get inspired by music.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's going to inspire you to create something, right? Where you're like, okay, I want to use those colors. I want to use this texture. But when it comes to artists, I don't think that there is one artist that inspires me every time. You know, and that's not to say that, like, some of their pieces are duds. It might be like one of their pieces or a couple of their pieces. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. But mostly it's their story, how they put themselves out there, how they deal with the roadblocks and the difficulties and stuff like that. Those are the things that really inspire me. So in this case, a lot of the artists that are here inspire me.
Yeah, totally. I'm heavily inspired by light play and texture when I see it anywhere. That's why Oliver Ellison's pieces draw me in. Yep. And they also kind of have this transportive quality to them. Anytime I see someone doing cool stuff with light and texture, I'm usually like, let me see more about that.
Fire King's got to go. It's been great. Got to see you. See you,
Thank
Fire
you,
King.
Fire King. Yep, got some opinions on it, said Ginger. I hear very mixed feedback, but I'm hopeful acrylics treat you better than that.
Yeah.
Mike said, I use golden acrylic and I have trouble with the surface being so sticky. I can't let anything touch it. So packing is problematic, but I have that figured, sort of.
Good.
Culture Hustle, I've used their black and it is very black. I know that the not Klein blue, whatever they call it, is supposed to be pretty blue also. The portrait I showed you yesterday was loved by the recipient.
Awesome.
That's awesome,
Congratulations, Kelly.
Have you tried bleach tie-dye or bleach airbrushing images on fabric? I personally have not, but I think it's super cool.
It is super cool.
I want to.
It is on my list of things that I want to do, that I want to play around with. I'm doing a painting for hubby's birthday. Gone back to folk art style. Was so scared putting paint on it. Not done that style for so long. I finally faced the fear tonight. Awesome, nice. Samantha. That's awesome.
Samantha, you're totally amazing.
Love your videos and podcasts. I live in a dark brown log cabin with terrible lighting. Any advice for kinds of lights for lighting my canvas, for paintings, taking photos? So, like, I'll show you guys.
We use a lot of work lamps, arm lamps, and clamp kind.
Like the arm lamp. And then on Amazon, these lighting socks.
Light diffuser socks.
They diffuse the stuff. So for both photography and for just lighting up the art.
Daylight bulbs. High color rendering.
Yep.
Daylight bulbs. Most of them have a pretty good color
just
rendering.
Good daylight LED. Just regular LED daylight bulbs are pretty good. I would go with 75 watt if you really want to light it up.
And you want multiple angles. You want side lighting, and you want overhead lighting and side lighting. I find that if you have only one, like, it makes it hard to see what you're working on. Yeah. At least for me, when I work on small stuff, I gotta have three.
So a lot of times, three-point lighting. Something from above and something from the sides, and that will also help with taking photographs of it if you have to take pictures.
For sure. For photographs, it's like the more lights the better, but make sure you diffuse it with something like that. Yep. For sure. Nothing beats daylight, like actual daylight for pictures.
No, because if not, you get that yellow tint. You could tell, like, the back here is yellow. We're actually light, and that's because that's a daylight bulb. in there.
P.S. When are your birthdays? My birthday is July 1st.
My birthday
and Rafi's
is
birthday is in
coming
a few
up
days.
in
February
5
5th.
days. Yeah.
February 5th is his birthday. He's in Aquarius.
Aquarius. One thing in inspiration is awesome. The interactive with other artists I discover on Discord server, Marvel Art Party, which has been so awesome. Just encouraging. Yeah, it's other artists.
Yeah.
Just being encouraged, like finding artists out there that are like in the thick of it with you, or that people that inspire you are the people that are in it and they know how difficult it is, and so they're there to help you out. Without putting, I mean, I've run into some artists that don't fit that and they're kind of a drag. So those kind of people don't inspire me. But for the most part, the artist communities, you know, they're great. They're great people. When you're not dealing with insecurities within them.
Sky Blue with Daisies. I just want to say, you're amazing humans. I was having an art apocalypse last year and Rafi and Klee, Blurry Klee saved me.
Thank you.
Let's see.
What state are you guys in? We're in
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Yep.
What is the best thick body acrylic paints that has a good yellow?
A good yellow. Man, yellow is always a challenge because yellow always feels like it gets real thin. Honestly, the Blick acrylic is pretty yellow. Golden heavy body acrylic is good. The thing is that I always buy powdered pigments, and we'll add more powdered pigment to something if I need.
If it's found wanting.
Yeah. So like a lot of it, the powdered pigments for the most part, you use them when you're mixing your oils, but I'll mix them into the acrylic and crush them in as well.
Have you found that it's easier to sell your originals over time? It feels like selling my children. I'm over here like a hoarder with my originals. Yeah, it totally gets easier, and the more stuff you make, the easier it is to let it go. And the joy that you feel when people truly connect with something, it's like so unreplicatable. Like, I can't replace that feeling with anything else in the world.
No.
For me, it's much better than hanging on to it. So
it really is. And honestly, like the thing is that a lot of the things that I create so much work that if I didn't sell it, I wouldn't have any room
to make more for the new, right?
And that's the thing. It's like it's time for them to go off into the world so that I could create more. And that's the way that I see it. Because I get really excited about the next new piece that I'm going to create and what I'm going to do. Mandy said, Wisconsin here.
Right
Hello,
on.
Wisconsin.
Hubby's is today, February 1st. Said Samantha.
Oh,
happy
awesome.
birthday to your
Happy
hubby.
birthday.
Watch for the fireworks up across the border in Canada on July 1st for your birthday. I know, right?
Sweet.
I'm close enough that I might be able. No, probably I wouldn't be able to see them, but that would be super cool. When I craft or draw, I love listening to your music. Try it for yourself and see. Listening to music. Try it for yourself and see how you feel.
Oh yeah, we listen to music all the time. We listen to music or audiobooks. That's what we listen to.
I love film scores for creating. Yep. Oh, and by the way, I do know that it is a holiday in Canada that they're not lighting off fireworks just for my birthday. Although
she didn't know that. Clee's birthday is the same month as Florence's birthday.
Aww.
My cat stepped on phone, messed up my comment.
They love you too. Aw. Good night, everyone. Sleep easy.
Good night, Joy.
I believe music can connect you to art and inspire you. It has also been proven to activate creative centers in your brain.
Yes, indeed.
Good stuff.
Yes, indeed. It's good stuff.
Music
it throws you put the right song on. Let's say that you're feeling down into dumps or you're feeling uncreative, and it throws a pattern interrupt into whatever mumbo jumbo you got going on. It's just music is powerful, but it's an art form, and that's the thing to remember. Any kind of art is going to inspire you. A lot of the pieces that I create, that's how a lot of people use them. They put them up on their wall, and they'll tell me, like, every morning I wake up, I look at the art, and I remind myself that I'm powerful and that I'm awesome and that I'm ready to leave the house. So like any way, shape, or form that you could use it, whether it's music or art or just a reminder on the wall that tells you you're a badass, is great to have in your studio.
Kendo wants to know, now that you've uploaded NFT, would you say it's worth it? If so, what site's best to upload? Share your experience thus far.
So far, okay, so I've Yeah, I mean, why
I think
not?
it's worth it for experimenting with
The thing is that,
platforms.
so the one that I do it on Mintable. I do the gasless minting because I don't want to pay money to mint my stuff, especially because I'm selling them for like an average of $35 to $50, and obviously that goes up as the rate goes up or goes down, and it's something that when it sells, that cryptocurrency goes into that account, and I'm not losing anything. I'm not really making.
We're also curious
anything.
to see where it goes.
Yeah.
We did put the brakes on it for a while because of the environmental impact that we were learning about, and we're hoping that continues.
But the thing is, don't get pulled by all the media bull crap that's going on out there. People are fighting back and forth because this NFT sold for millions of dollars, and this is, if you're going into it for that, don't.
Yeah.
Don't
do it for the hype.
Don't do it for the hype. Do it because, you want to experiment with it. You want to see where this is going. And that's what you really want to do, because all that hype, that's just blown up bull crap. It's just blown up bull crap. So, that's the way that I see it, at least, and I've had fun with it versus getting really discouraged or whatever.
Hi Deb.
Hey Deb.
Hugs from Sydney.
Good night, happy birthday. Good night, Chumpy.
Oh, I think Chumpy was saying good night too.
Oh.
Yeah. Can we spend some time on NFT stuff? A way to help familiarize. We had in mind at one point to do like an NFT overview thing, and it kind of got put on hold.
Well, because we moved.
Because then we moved.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll be something that we cover.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do a video. We'll do a video about where we are with NFTs and all that stuff.
Yeah. Sky Blue said belly dance music. Try it, people.
Belly dance music.
Yeah, that is good stuff. Oh,
who is it that we like? Something Antiques or whatever.
Oh, Beats Antique.
Beats Antique. I
love Beats Antique.
Yeah.
They're like a weird hybrid sound, and Secret Chiefs 3 has a cool sound too.
Yep.
Hi Ruffy and Clee, can't sleep in Netherlands. Hi Edith.
Hi Edith.
Do you guys think it's easier to draw, quote, despicable things because sex sells and it's everywhere in the media? I ask because I almost never have ideas for beautiful art.
I mean, that's the thing, like that comment, like sex sells. It does and it doesn't. I mean, everything sells. So when it comes to like beautiful art, I mean, beauty
it's pretty subjective.
Beauty is subjective. It's in the eye of the beholder. So like really, like whatever it is that you find beautiful, that's what I recommend you create, because
make the art that you can't help but make.
Yeah.
Because someone out there will want it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you want to be known for creating that art, right? Because if you're creating stuff that you're like, well, I don't really enjoy doing this, but I think it will sell. And then imagine, then you become popular for creating the stuff that you don't even like creating.
And then you're like, I hate this.
Yeah. So like, just create the things that you find beautiful, something that you find inspiring, no matter what it is, and then let your people find you.
Kerr said the next big thing is an illusion. Anything that's hyped, it's just a fad and a fashion, and it will fade, whether that's NFTs or digital art, whatever. And the aspects of those things that have staying power, they'll stick around.
Yeah, and that's what you want to be in it. Not for the hype. You want to be there is something there that is not all the crap that they're promoting on the media and talking about. All the stuff that's being talked about and really being promoted, that's not the reality of it. But
that's old news for artists.
It is old news for artists, but it is causing something where there is going to be a change somewhere, whether or not it's NFTs or it's digital art or whatever the attention is. I think just experimenting with it and playing around with it, but making sure that you're not breaking the bank, right? Which is why I went through Mintable. They have the gas list thing. Obviously, it's like a community thing. That way, I'm not paying to put my NFTs out there.
Yeah, it's like anything. Experiment on the cheap.
Yeah, experiment on the cheap.
If you're going to start working in metals, you don't go for gold first. You go for copper. It's just like that. Well, not like that. It's like that, but it's not like that.
Exactly.
Here's super late. Hi, Miss Kitty.
Hey, Miss Kitty.
Liz said, my first art teacher in high school told me the most beautiful thing is the human body, and the next was a tree, and the third was a horse.
fine art.
I know a certain Cuban old man that would agree with you.
My dad, every time I did an abstract or something, he was like, "You're still doing those paintings about nothing?"
He likes horses and naked ladies.
Yeah,
and that's
horses
fine.
and naked ladies.
That's his art taste. NFT exciting, said Edith. Melissa said, I can never remember what NFT means. It's non-fungible tokens.
Yes.
Non-fungible tokens.
Jumpy said non-fungible tokens.
Mm-hmm. Or non-tangible tokens if you make an invisible one.
Yeah, non-tangible token, like the invisible sculpture.
If we minted that, it would be a non-tangible token.
Yep.
Lil Kerr, I read that comment with a sarcastic voice in my head, and it made me laugh. Lol, thanks for making my day along with Robbie and Clay. You guys are the greatest. Amy said, I love you guys. Thank you for all you do. You may like to check out the People's Choice Festival in Bullsburg, PA.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It's for PA artists and great atmosphere. Awesome, Amy.
That
thank
sounds fun. Thank you, Amy.
Kelly said, what happens when you're inspired by everything? I paint and draw everything. Will I be known as the artist who can't settle on one thing?
No,
that's not the worst thing to be known as. But
no, you'll just be known as what is that? What is it that they love to say? Multi-medium, multi. Oh man, I forget what it is because that's one of the things that I hate. Because a lot of people would be like, you got to stick to one medium, you got to stick to one subject, you got to whatever. But then they call these artists that are out there creating all kinds of stuff. Because any artist that does a, what is that called when they do a show of
a retrospective?
A retrospective. It's all different types of crap because we're always experimenting and playing around.
You know who tells you to stick with one thing and do nothing else? Not artists.
Yes.
That's who tells you to stick with one thing. Because no artist, I've never heard any artist be like, just stick with
not
one.
Artists,
that's not how we work.
Or an artist who got it so beaten and ingrained in them to stick to one thing that they're like, no, you have to stick to one thing. Because they're like, their eye is twitching because they really want to try other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is worth experimenting with if you have the time. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, to see where it goes, right? But what does fungible mean? Oh, I know this. Fungible means exchangeable for something else of the same value. For example, $1 is fungible or exchangeable for 4 quarters, or the equivalent in metal like silver would be exchangeable for its monetary value. A non-fungible token is something that cannot be exchanged with anything else because there's no equivalent to it. So a one-of-a-kind piece of art is non-fungible, essentially.
See, I thought it was not a fungus.
Non-fungible?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So we all learned something tonight.
I'm going to do a lichen series. Non-fungible.
Multifaceted. Yes, Kerr. Multifaceted. That's what they'll be like, oh, he's such a multifaceted artist. And it's like, then that's a compliment. Yeah. But until you're there, then people are like, you got to stick to one thing. And no, just do what you want to do. Multi-genre.
Multi-genre also. Yep. Yeah. Just do you, boo.
Just
That's
do
good
you,
advice,
boo.
Rhonda. That's good advice. Tina, none are the same. Lol. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the short way to say.
Yep.
Yep. My art is all over the place. Don't want to change that.
No, don't change it.
Word
don't
angel. Do you have a scheduled time for just drawing for yourself?
Pretty much whenever I sit down. So I put my drawing pads or my sketchbooks somewhere that typically I will sit down, and whenever I sit there, I can't help because everything is right there. I can't help but pick up. It's kind of the same way that I like putting my guitar somewhere where I typically sit down because then I'll pick up the guitar and just grab it. So I don't have a scheduled time. Mostly the scheduled time has to do more with deadlines and stuff like that. Pretty much every other time is just drawing, sketching, playing music, doing whatever it is that
right now we're really being flexible about all the things.
Yeah, especially
Hi,
with the plumbing that's going on.
Mwah. Watching this on my TV, wanted to pop on to thank y'all. You helped me put myself out there. Phyllis, you're amazing.
You are amazing, Phyllis.
Kind of sad to know that fungible doesn't have anything to do with fungi.
Right? So
That reminds me of a thing I saw about toasters, which is hilarious. And it was that someone's life was devastated to find out that the knob on the toaster is minutes and not degree of toastiness. And I read that and I was like, nuh-uh. the knob with the numbers on it is degree of toastiness.
No.
Not minutes.
It's minutes.
I still don't know if I believe that.
Melissa, fungi ball.
fungi ball tokens. I think we might be onto something, you guys.
Fungus isn't as funny as Clee's trees, lol.
Aw, thanks. I heard Chumpy blew up your plumbing. It wasn't Chumpy.
It wasn't Chumpy, but it wasn't fun. Shoopaloop's here. Hi. I paint my emotions so that my paintings are all over the place, lol. Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is. Like, you know, you when you are following the flow you are painting, the thing is that there will always be some kind of similarity in your paintings. It doesn't matter if the subject matter is different, the mediums are different, whatever it is. The fact that you created the art means that your art there is something there. There is something there that will tie them all together.
Fungus could be a great subject matter. I concur. Being a jeweler is super multifaceted. There's so much to learn, right? We'll never do it all. We'll never be able to do it all.
So much.
It's infuriating and exciting.
I mean, it's the same thing with painting. I mean, you've got watercolor, you've got oils,
Endless.
You've got acrylic, you've got different mediums. Some of us are really good at painting with enamels and spray paint art and like all that stuff. There's so many things to do. It's all multifaceted.
Mandy said, shop the loop. I paint with my emotions too.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
That means minutes? I know, right? Do we believe
Team
this?
Toastiness.
Team toastiness, right? It's degree of toastiness. It's not minutes.
No, it's
I'm actually
minutes.
going to test it against a stopwatch, you guys. I'm pretty sure I am. And I'll report back.
Nadia, get out. Is that true about toasters?
I don't know.
Everybody's blown away.
I don't know if it's true.
I'm down for Team Toasty.
Right. It is degree of toastiness.
Is Samantha leaving? Good night. Good night, Samantha.
Mwah. Love you, Samantha. Fungi tree? Get out. Oh, we just read that.
Yeah.
I am down for Team Toasty. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, your basement in your last video looks huge. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's quite a bit bigger than, well, our house that we used to live in, our apartment.
Yeah, which is great. Which means that our studio is going to be bigger than the apartment that we lived in.
I made a stained glass fungi today. Did you really, Jason?
Dude, I want to see that.
That's legit. Great. Now I got to sit and time my toast just to see. Well, one of us is going to have to.
David, jeweler, multifaceted. Love what you did there. Yeah, that was good.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even catch that. Funny enough, there was a channel I passed that made a beautiful ceramic fungus mug. Fungus is fascinating.
It is fascinating.
And beautiful. And I really do like lichen a lot. I'm liking it all the time.
Oh, for crying out
Yeah.
loud. Stefan, yeah, the more you develop your style, the more all your pieces will feel connected. Yeah, yeah, indeed. And I mean, the only way that you could develop your style is to just keep creating. And if you're creating in multiple styles or in multiple mediums or whatever it is, eventually you're going to find your flow with that. When we're experimenting with new things, we might, especially if you're like looking at somebody else's work or you're inspired by someone else, like it'll take a while for it all to kind of come together. But it does. So it doesn't matter what the subject matter is or the medium is. If it's your art, then it's connected in some way, shape, or form.
Naomi and Wendy said, unfortunately, I know a classically trained artist who told Naomi that what she does is not art, which made me sad, but I told her not to let him box her in.
Are you serious?
F that person. That's what I have to say about that.
You
Because that's
know
so
when you
narrow-minded.
get that, you know when you get that flame
I know
that
you're
comes
about to
in
mama
the
bear
inside?
it. Yeah, for sure. Look, anybody...
Oh my God, that pisses me off.
Literally anybody who needs to belittle what someone else is doing can eat a bag because they're clearly not busy enough doing what they're doing.
Yep.
Because people who are doing their thing and love it and are seeing success and are feeling fulfilled, they don't say shit like that.
They don't.
So,
they don't.
F that human.
If you are out there and you are creating your art and you are putting yourself out there and you feel good about what you do and you don't feel any insecurity, there is absolutely no reason for you to ever tell someone else that what they do is not art, because it's such a stupid, meaningless comment. It doesn't mean anything that what you do is not art. Screw you.
Jen just said, Clee,
It makes me so mad.
I am here for it. Liking it. Sweetie's Cat World says, when do you think you'll have your next online art show? I loved your last one. We're going to try to do those quarterly at the end of each, give or take, once every couple of months or so.
Yeah,
quarterly.
We want to create some really cool pieces for each one.
So probably like April is.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We had fun. We were nervous about doing it. We honestly, that day, we felt really, really sick.
Yes.
But we
rallied and had a good time.
We rallied, but we started to have such a good time that honestly, I kind of forgot that I wasn't feeling well until after when we stopped it.
Indeed. Yeah. We need a t-shirt, Team Toasty.
Mandy, Rafi, rant more. Yes.
Stephanie wants to know interest in cloisonne. Mad respect for cloisonne.
Yep.
But even I don't have the patience for that business.
Yep.
Not to say I would never dabble, but man, I know a really like dedicated cloisonne artist who does like all this mad intricate stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. Yep. But I love looking at it. That's for sure.
Love you guys, right? What assholes. Yes, Liz.
Yeah.
Drives me mad, and these people who ask can never do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A real artist will not belittle another artist,
exactly.
Says Trisha. Exactly.
My issue is finding my style.
You will find
that
it.
Will come with time.
You will find it. Just keep creating. And then the more that you do things, you'll be like, oh, I really dig this. I really like doing this. Or I really enjoy these color combinations. And it's just keep creating. Keep creating. It's kind of like finding your voice when you sing. The more you sing, the more you get comfortable. And the more comfortable you are, when you are more prone to just be yourself, and that's your voice.
And then the more you discover what you like and what you're about.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, thanks, Jenny. Your art show was fabulous. You did great.
Oh, thank you.
So much. See, Naomi, Uncle Ruffy's got your back. We both do,
oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let someone say some stuff.
I will take them out.
We are past our time, my dear.
My sister is almost 60 and started painting about 5 years ago. Her work is unbelievable, but she insists she's not an artist because she never learned how to paint. How can I convince her otherwise? Tell her it's very simple. If she creates art, then she's an artist, because most artists that we see as artists from the past didn't learn how to paint. They taught themselves how to paint. A lot of the techniques that artists learn, they learned from people that taught themselves how to paint.
Yeah, so, and sure, there were apprenticeships and stuff, but so much came out of experimentation.
And things like that. They taught themselves how to paint. A lot of the great artists that we see, Van Gogh, everybody loves Van Gogh. Van Gogh taught himself how to paint, and he is most definitely an artist. So you can tell your sister she's an artist. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm. And see, yeah, Tina's been told she's not an artist because her realistic animal painting is from a reference photo. Like all the naysayers will always have some cockamamie reason why your art's not real art.
If it makes you feel any better, I've had people tell me that I'm not a real artist, and I'm like, okay, you could eat a bag. That's basically what my response is. Like, I don't care. Because the people that do that, seriously, like, you gotta be so insecure and so trying to prove yourself by putting somebody down in order to make that comment. Like, it's ridiculous. Why would you ever say that to somebody? I can't even get an understanding of that. So, like, when it comes to people like that say that, there's no reason to listen to them.
Mm-mm. Your video today really touched what I'm dealing with right now. Thank you. Thanks, Angela.
Thank you, Angela. I hope things get good and better and great and awesome.
Tim said, I think people have this idea that there's some rule that you must do realism in order to be good. And then when they can't do it, they try to invalidate realism or this or that or whatever. I've heard a million things thrown around the art world. Yeah, and if it's anybody that has to belittle anybody needs to get more involved in something creative that they can pour their energy.
Pay attention to your own work and stop belittling other people's stuff. Just pay attention to your own shit and don't worry about somebody else's stuff.
They can eat all the sticks, said Fat Cat.
Yes. Glad I was able to catch you guys. I've been so busy. I haven't been able to catch your lives. Well, Shoop, that was awesome having you here. We love you. And we'll talk to you about doing a Zoom fairly soon.
Yes, we will. It's time for us to sign off.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go do laundry. That's exciting.
Kelly, I went to the Fine Art School of Staffa. Explain that to everyone. So I have a t-shirt that's on Teespring and on my website that is, go ahead, Clee, what is Staffa?
It's self-taught as boo. You can fill in the rest.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Self-taught as boop. Fine
arts.
Arts. Yep.
Yep. So
that's where I'm from. So anybody that says, I'm self-taught.
Same.
When it comes to art, I took some art classes here and there, but I've been doing art since I was like little, since I was 9 years old.
Isn't this funny? Michael said, my high school teacher used to say that if you use pictures as reference, you aren't a true artist, or abstract, suck it, teach. Isn't it funny how they'll say, if you don't use a reference photo, then you're not a real artist if you're just making stuff up, and then if you do use a reference photo, then you're not a real artist because you have blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all y'all contradict yourselves. All you haters contradict yourselves all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Always.
Face holes, as Deanne likes to call them.
Yes, face holes. Bashar, good night, everyone. Nice to meet all of you. Awesome having you guys here. Let's see. How do I do this? Oh, I totally forgot about this chat box thing.
Next time.
My live stream game is off. Okay.
For those of you who would like to join us again soon, we have a live podcast that we do now, which is going weekly.
Yep.
On Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
You have to have a Podbean, whatchamacallit.
A free Podbean. What I'll do is I'll post it on social media and let you guys know. But yeah, we'll be going live tomorrow night on there. It's a podcast, a live podcast. So that could be fun.
And for all of our Patreon peeps.
So, self-taught as Academy.
For all of our Patreon peeps, we will see you on the live stream after party on Discord, and we will see you on Wednesday for the Rogue Live.
Yes, we will. Bye from Franklin, says Jody. Bye, Jody.
Thanks for joining us, Jody.
Yay. All right, so I just
Whoa, what just happened? Whoa.
I was like, look at that. There's chat on there now. I was supposed to do this earlier. Okay. All right. Thank you both. Happy birthday, Rafi. Let's go do laundry, Clee.
Yes.
Yeah, time for laundry.
You got to time that stuff when your water is shut off most of the day for several days. You know what I mean?
Total awesomeness. Just create. Naysayers be mud. Yeah. Good night. All right. So, you guys, this was awesome. Thank you so much.
All the fun.
This was so much fun. It's such a great end to such a challenging day today. Really, really freaking enjoyed this. Bye from the Netherlands. Bye, Stefan.
Bye. Tonight on Discord? Yes, I will pop on Discord live stream after party.
Yeah.
I may be there only for a second and then go do laundry, but I will be there.
We have laundry and different things to take care of. Now I can rewatch the Puppet Show. Yes.
True. Yes.
All right, so how do I do this here? Hey, look at that. We get to say goodbye.
Ah.
We do need to have the total awesomeness thing come up at the end of this.
Yeah, we totally do.
Yeah.
Now that we're back.
All right.
We'll get the bells and whistles.
I know. I'm so excited. This is our first main channel live stream.
In forever.
It's been a long time. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. You guys are absolutely freaking amazing.
You're the best, truly.
And I adore you guys. I adore you guys.
As do I.
And yeah, if you didn't get to watch the beginning of this, watch the beginning so you could
for those two
see our Muppet puppet. I can't say Muppet because that's.
Can't say Muppet. You said it like 3 times already.
Puppet Muppet.
Puppets.
Yeah.
Our puppets.
Puppet Muppet. Yeah. Okay. Either way, you guys are amazing. I freaking adore you. I will. We'll talk to you later.
Indeed.
You want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
All right. Adios. And
it's that one.
It's the bottom one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one.
The bottom one.
Go to the bottom one.
Are you sure it's the bottom
one?
Yeah. Night, you guys.
Nighty night.
I'm gonna hit. Oh no.